join everyone in Jersey in sending our thoughts and prayers to the families that have lost loved ones during this tragic time. Islands Energy continue to work with the emergency services during this recovery period. I want to reassure people that we believe that this is an isolated incident and not an issue with our gas network. We will work with the emergency services and the various channels to ensure that we're providing the data needed to understand exactly what happened during this incident. Thank you. Questions?
Do you believe that Island Energy's infrastructure has had a role to play in this explosion?
No, I don't.
So we understand from the landlords that these buildings weren't running on gas, is that right?
They weren't. There was a mains network running past it, but they weren't being used for heating.
So is the suggestion that there's been some damage to the mains network? Is that your kind of working assumption?
No, there is no damage to the mains network.
So where's the gas coming from?
It's really difficult for me to comment on that because we're running a very clear investigation period at this time. I don't want to make assumptions because I don't want to make people think that something's happened that hasn't. Please let us run our investigations. We will get to the facts.
Yeah, you can see where the question will lead, can't you? Because if there's no problem with the mains,
yes.
then there's a natural question about, well, where does that gas come from?
So the mains hasn't been affected. The mains is also turned off. We have assessed the area 3 days in a row, and there is no gas detected in the area at all. It's 100% safe. We need to run through the investigations to understand where the explosion initiated. There is an assumption that it may be gas. We don't know that for a fact.
Is there a spur from an old gas pipe or anything like that?
We really don't know. We have to go for a really good forensic process to be able to make sure that we know exactly where it came from. At this point in time, we don't know.
And any work leading up to the event?
There was work leading up to the event, but as I reassure you, there wasn't meters in the property and it wasn't run on heating. So we really do need to understand clearly what could have caused it.
And recent work, was it? I mean, we're talking...
Yes, but they were disconnected meters, so...
Were engineers called out on Friday night after the with the fire service? We know were called out on Friday. Were
yes,
Island Energy engineers as well? And what did they do?
Yes, it's standard procedure that we get called by the fire and rescue, so we attended on site with them. I'm actually looking at all the recordings and exactly what happened at that time. Again, it's inappropriate for me to comment at that at this time.
When you say recordings, what type of recording?
We received recordings into the call centre from fire and rescue reporting that it had been reported to us, and we always attend its standard protocol. If there is a gas escape reported, then we always attend with fire and rescue.
And for an explosion of this size, would there need to be a source of ignition?
It's really hard for me to comment because we don't actually know that it was gas at this time.
You'll understand it. I guess what you're saying slightly contradicts what we were hearing yesterday when they were working assumption was it was gas, but now you're saying it may not have been.
So it's very typical of an explosion of this size that it typically is gas, but I want to bring us back to the fact that we don't know that, and I don't want to set heads running and people going, therefore it is gas. I think it's very typical. If you look at the statement, he said an explosion of this size is normally gas.
Yeah.
We don't know that for sure, therefore it's really difficult for me to comment whether it was a spark or what actually happened here. Let us do our forensic analysis. We are working really closely with all the channels, providing transparent data. We're running our own investigation, and we will provide as much information to all the appropriate channels, and we will get to the bottom of what happened here.
You might not want to share it, but do you have a working assumption at the moment?
It's inappropriate for me to comment at this time, sorry.
So far as that investigation the night before, obviously when the fire service were also called, so absolutely nothing untoward was found on your end, and you assured residents that the area was safe, so as far as you could find?
I haven't actually seen the full report yet. We have to interview the individual that attended with fire and rescue. That interview hasn't been completed yet.
And what timescale are we talking about, Joe?
The call came into our...
No, sorry, in terms of the investigation.
The investigation has been underway for some time, as you can imagine. We anticipate that we'll have a clearer picture by Wednesday this week. What I want to be clear is that we won't be making any statements on that. That will be coming from the appropriate channels.
Would the actions have been different at all had these properties have been on the gas network?
No, we follow a very standard protocol. If there's any detection of gas in any way, we follow a very strict procedure. So it doesn't matter whether you're on gas or whether you're not, we follow the same procedure at all times.
From what you understand so far, was that procedure followed in this case?
Absolutely.
The site was declared safe fundamentally.
I need to see the full report because I haven't seen what steps we took exactly, because we need to go through a really clear interview process with all of those that attended the site. Once we've seen that report, then we'll be able to answer those questions.
Thank you. J-O.
J-O-C-O-X, not J-O-E.